As the economy's worsened this past year, we have seen the needs just skyrocket. In fact, this past year we served 158,000 people. That's a 31% increase over the prior year.
Not only did they help us with allowing us to have a roof over our head, we also received cards for purchasing groceries, which helped us to be able to eat. And basically they allowed us to survive for yet another month.
We saw about 500 children who were sexually abused.
There was a 7-year-old boy who came in. He was extremely traumatized by being sexually abused by his grandfather for a period of about 2 years, and his childhood might have been taken away from him completely if he hadn't come to the crisis center for help.
There was probably over 1,000 women who were sexually assaulted, and that's a conservative estimate.
I didn't want to be a rape victim. That's the last thing I wanted to be. And they took me through that process as easily as possible. And that's what the Crisis Center does, is they gave me the tools to be able to live. They gave me a sense of confidence. They validated my experience and let me heal enough so that not only am I stronger, but in having dealt with the trauma, now I'm able to give back.
On an average week, we receive about 30 suicide calls, and in 1 week we had over 60 calls.
The single mom called at the end of her rope. She was very low and sincere in thinking that her kids may have been better off without her. I think she heard me like I heard her, and I believe I made a difference.
We're usually not only the first on the scene, we're often the only one on the scene, meeting those basic needs that people have during these troubled times. Without the Crisis Center, most of those folks literally have no place to go, no place to turn to.
We knew that it was a relationship meant to be. In 2006, I proposed. She accepted. And in 2007, we married. It was magical.
I worked for a mortgage company, and I decided that the hours I was putting in there, I could do it myself. So I opened my own company. My husband had been in a profession for 14 years, and when we met and got together, my business was doing very well, and it became too much for me. And so he quit his job that he'd done for 14 years to come to work with me.
It wasn't long after that that her business took the downfall due to the mortgage industry. We started to struggle in 2007.
I have cerebral palsy, and so it limits my ability to do physical employment. But the most recent thing that became the most devastating to me was about when I lost my business. A year or so later, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer.
The doctor at that point asked if we had insurance, and we said we had no insurance. We had lost all of our savings, and we were pretty much down to nothing.
I was released from the hospital and told, okay, we'll do surgery whenever you figure out how you're going to get it done. So I left the hospital with a diagnosis that could kill me. And no job, no insurance, what am I going to do?
We had a lot of bills that were stacking up. Rent, water, electricity, due to be turned off.
We didn't know what we were going to do. And so we just started checking out what was out there and started making phone calls to see what was available, and that's how we heard about the Crisis Center.
We were able to get food that was desperately needed in the house, to maintain the electricity, and to keep the rent. so that we would have housing.
And in my case, I can't speak for other people, but in my case, it did a lot more than feed me. It gave me a chance to take care of me. Had I not had that money, I would have been trying to find a place to live because I would have been out of a place to live. I would have been trying to find out how I'm going to eat. I wouldn't have been able to say, okay, I can focus just on me and what I need to do to get better. It gave me more than shelter and food. It gave me peace.
The Crisis Center for Tampa Bay was available to us and provided service, help, hope, and healing.
It's wonderful compared to a year ago. What's ahead? Nothing but good thing. My husband's doing well at his job. Is promoting and being recognized for the person that he is and the beliefs that he holds. I'm cancer-free. I have a job. He has a job. We're not hungry. We're able to pay our bills.
But this has been a learning experience. And I don't think that there is anything out there that can take away the joy of having a life partner and being able to know that you've got tomorrow.
So what did the Crisis Center do for me? It kept me alive. So the people who think that a little bit of money makes no difference don't know what a little bit of money does. Whoever gave that money that made up my money did it for me. So that's what I got. I got more than money. I got a whole different way of looking at life. And I also learned that it's not somebody else's responsibility. It's everybody's responsibility.
If it wasn't for agencies, and specifically the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay, there may be different circumstances, and I may be telling you a different story today. And I am very grateful